Hi, thanks for joining me today. This video is going to focus on some movements and yoga poses to help tightness and tension in the neck, the shoulders, and the upper back. We have a tendency to carry a lot of tightness and tension in that area. You've heard the term text neck from doing this, doing work on our phones and stuff like that. So this is going to work a little bit again, releasing a little tension in the neck and the upper back and the shoulders. So do have either a folded up towel or a folded up blanket, firm blanket to sit on, and opportunity to use it later if you need for a lying down position. And then something that functions like a yoga block for you. If you have a yoga block, perfect. If you don't, maybe stack up a few books or something like that, or you can even take your folded up blanket or towel, make it folded up a couple more times so it's a little thicker, but something to let your forehead rest on in child pose for a little additional support. So let's start in a cross-legged seated position. So go ahead and lift your sit bones up onto whatever you have to sit on. This first bit you can also do it seated in a chair if you'd like. But as you find your comfortable position, find even weight in your sit bones, because part of the alignment or things that affect the alignment in our neck and our upper back is the alignment further down in the lower back. So we want to find the neutral curves for the spine. So starting again in the seated position, find even weight on your sit bones, the base of your pelvis. We want to have a slight forward curve in the lumbar spine, so we don't want the back to be flat and rounded. So you want to sit up nice and tall. Imagine that there's a string attached to the crown of your head and it's lengthening the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, up towards the sky. Think of the collarbones being nice and wide, and think of the head balanced right on top of the spine, spine right over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips. So we have that nice alignment. And you can even do this little kind of just a reference point. If you take your fingers and place your fingers right on the front cartilage of your ear, and if you think if your fingers could touch between, that is where the top of your spine is. So a lot of the spine is up into the skull. And let's start with just doing a little release there. So from here, imagine that you have, again, that string like attached to the top of the head, more like if you had a ponytail like way up high, and kind of pull that up a little bit. And then just think of a little rotation here, just letting the head just kind of rotate a little down and a little up. So chin a little towards the collarbones and then gaze a little up. And that's that rotation right at the top of your spine. The top vertebrae of the spine is called the atlas. So just, again, this little, so it keeps us from doing this, fall forward with the head, fall forward with the head. Just think of this rotation. So you feel like your head is just balanced right on top of the spine. And then come back to that neutral position. Let the hands rest down on the thighs with the palms up or down, whatever feels comfortable. And then from that neutral position with the head and neck, nice deep inhale. And then as you exhale, without letting the head fall forward, just gently draw the chin a little bit towards the chest. So again, we're thinking of this, coming from that upper part of the vertebrae. And then come back to center, and then very gently just take the gaze a little up. So think of lengthening the back of the neck. So we're not crunching the back of the neck. So again, coming back through center, just a gentle chin towards the collarbones, and then back through center, and again, a gentle gaze up. One more time, exhaling, chin towards the collarbones, and inhale, the gaze a little up. And then come back to that neutral position. Again, think of the head balanced right on top of the spine. And then we'll do, that was a little yes movement. Now think of a little no movement. So nice deep exhale, inhale and exhale. Gently rotate your head to the right. And then inhale back to center. And then exhale, rotate your head to the left. And back to center. Again, do that a couple more times. Exhale as you turn your head to the side. Inhale as you come back to center. Exhale again, turn the head to the side. And again, important to do this with the spine neutral, so the head right on top of the spine. Exhale to the right, inhale back to center. Exhaling to the left. Inhale back to center. Now we'll do a little side to side, little lateral flexion. Same idea, neutral to start. Exhale, right ear towards the right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, left ear towards the left shoulder and back to center. Again, we'll keep that pattern going with your breath. Exhaling to the side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, opposite side, back to center. One more time each side. Keep breathing and notice sensations. You might hear some sounds that the neck is making. And then I come back again to center. Close the eyes for a moment. Just notice any sensations, how the neck is feeling. And then very gently let the eyes open. So bring your arms out to your side and behind your head, elbows out to the side. So we're doing a little variation, seated variation of cat and cow with a little additional movement through the upper back and some support for the neck. So as we exhale, we're going to round forward, bring the elbows towards each other, hands resting on the back of the head, so rounding forward. And now inhale, lifting the heart and the sternum, bring the elbows nice and wide, take the gaze a little up, letting the head support the back of the neck. So almost think of like you're using the hands to kind of lengthen through the back of the neck. And then exhale again, rounding forward. And inhale, opening up, lifting the heart and the sternum, gaze a little up. Do that a few more times. Exhaling, get a nice stretch through the upper back. And inhale. Exhale, rounding forward. Inhale, extending and opening. Good. One more time. Exhale. And inhale. And then this time, exhale back to neutral. Again, think of that length in the back of the neck. Bring the arms again down by your side. Just pause for a moment. Close the eyes. Again, just notice how you feel, checking in. Inhale and exhale, very gently let the eyes open. So we're going to come down to the ground onto all fours to start with. So you can just set your blanket off to the side, maybe just at the end of your mat. Come to table pose. So in your table pose, wrist under shoulders, knees under hips, have your block or whatever you're using to support the head accessible. And again, if that's that towel or blanket, folding that up, make it a little thicker. Exhale, round your spine to a cat pose, and then gently release the hips back towards the heels, and take that block or that folded up towel or that stack of books and let your forehead gently rest on that support. So this gives a little bit of support for the neck. And sometimes if we're a little tighter in the hips or the lower back or even the neck, sometimes when we do this child pose and we kind of find we're on the top of our head rather than the forehead, this gives us a nice extension to the spine. So we want to think of this nice length in the spine, not letting the head collapse and round down. So that's why we want to use a little support for this variation. So we'll stay here for a few breaths, breathing into the whole length of the spine. Think of breathing into the lower back, the back of the ribs, right up in between the shoulders. Think of breathing all the way to the top of the head. And then exhale, letting the breath release, shoulders, ribs, lower back. And again, keep that going. Another option you can do here is you can gently let the head roll side to side. So whatever your head is resting on, let it be heavy. Don't pick the head up and turn it from side to side. Just let it roll. So sometimes there's a tendency to want to pick it up and look one direction and pick it up and look the other direction. See if you can just let the head just gently roll. Your head weighs somewhere between 8 to 12 pounds, like a little bowling ball on top of those tiny vertebrae at the top of the spine. So think of just letting the head be as heavy as it is and letting it gently roll side to side. And then coming back to center, again, take another breath here. Inhale and exhale, and then press into the hands, lift the head slightly, and just move whatever you were using out of the way. We're going to come all the way down onto our belly. So extend the arms all the way in front. Legs all the way behind you. Start with the arms extended all the way overhead, palms to the floor, forehead to the mat. Take a big breath here. Inhale and exhale. Now, keeping the forehead on the mat, bring your hands back beside the chest. So palms to the mat. Hug your elbows in towards your ribs. Press into the tops of the feet hip distance apart. So we're going to do a little strengthener for the upper back and the neck and the shoulders here. Low cobra pose. So press into the feet. As you inhale, begin to lift the forehead, lift the upper chest, draw the shoulder blades again towards the spine. Press into the feet. So we're not pushing ourselves up with our hands. We're using the muscles in the back of the body to lift and lengthen us up. Exhale, lower back down. So we're going to do that a couple times. Press into the feet. Inhale, lifting up, low cobra. Exhale and lower back down. Good. One more time. Inhale, lifting up to that low cobra. And exhale and lower back down. Now this time, press into the hands, come up to table pose. Hands again under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Now bring your hands in front of your shoulders, press into the fingertips, base of the knuckles, curl the toes under, lift the knees, keeping your knees bent, send your sit bones up and back, come to a bent knee downward facing dog. And really think of just letting the head and the neck release here. Imagine the head's a big heavy coconut hanging from a tree, and just let it hang there, a little traction for the neck. Keep pressing into the fingertips and the base of the knuckles. Take the pressure off the wrist. Feel that nice length all the way up the spine. Draw that lower belly in. Think of the lowest ribs drawing towards the hips. So we're supporting the spine from underneath. And this variation underneath, again, front of the body, supporting the back of the body. And now very gently release the knees back down to the mat. Uncurl the toes, and now step your right foot forward to a lunge. So right foot comes forward, heel underneath the knee, press into both feet. Coming up, just let the hands rest above the right thigh. And then just take a moment to set your foundation in your lunge. So we want to press into the top of the back foot, press into all four corners of the front foot. Think of that right hip drawing back. Shoulders nice and square, collarbones wide, arms down by your side. So we're going to do a little movement for the shoulder. We're going to start with the left shoulder in this variation, then we'll switch to the second lunge for the other side. But we're just going to do some movements for the arm and the shoulder to help loosen up, tight shoulders and upper back. So taking that left arm, just swing the left arm as forward as far as it will go, and then as back as far as it will go. So inhale and exhale, and inhale and exhale, inhaling and exhale, and inhale and exhale. One more time here, inhale and exhale, and then just let the arm come down by your side. Then we're going to do some circling with the arm all the way around this time. So inhale, sweep the arm all the way behind you. Exhale, bring it down in front. Inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale. Keep pressing into your foundation. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good. One more time. Inhale and exhale. And then both arms all the way up and overhead. Exhale the hands down to the mat. Step your right leg back beside your left. Bring your hands in front, curl your toes under. Let's take that downward facing dog. Your option this time, you can keep the knees bent or pedal through the feet a little bit or keep the legs straight. But just the same thing, let your head hang heavy. Notice any difference between the right shoulder and the left shoulder. We just did a little movement for that right arm. So notice if it feels any different. Inhale and exhale. And then once again, release the knees back down to the mat. Come to your table pose, and now the left leg stepping forward. So come to that lunge, left heel under the knee. Finding that balance as you come up, press into the top of your back foot, all four corners of the front foot, left hip is drawing back, shoulders square, collarbones wide. Arms down by your side, same thing. We're going to start with the movement now for the right arm. So inhale the arm forward, exhale back, inhale and exhale. And don't try to control the movement too much here. Just think inhale forward, exhale back. Just like let it swing a little. Inhale forward, exhale back. This is my dominant arm, so it's a little easier for me on this side. You might find that's a difference side to side. Good. And once more like this. And then let that arm come back down. Pause for a moment. And then we'll take that circular motion all the way around. So inhale, bring it back, all the way up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, and exhale, inhale, and exhale, inhale, and exhaling, inhale, and exhale. A couple more times. Inhale, and exhale, inhale, and exhale. Good. One more time. Inhale. This time as you exhale, both hands down to the mat. Curl the back toes under, lift the back knee. Once again, step back to that downward facing dog. Check in with how the shoulders, the neck, and the upper back feel here. Inhale. And exhale. And then as you're ready, release your knees down to the mat. Uncurl the toes. Let's come back to that supported child pose again. Take your block or your blanket under the forehead as you send your hips back towards your heels. Inhale and exhale. Again, notice how the shoulders and the neck and the upper back feel now. And then very gently press into the hands. Come back up to your table pose. So just moving that block or stack of books out of the way, and we're going to come down onto our back. And if you know that when you lie on your back, you need a little support for your neck, maybe have that folded up blanket or cushion for underneath the neck. Again, like so. If you're comfortable with the head down on the earth without any support. Now, if you feel like your head is back like this with your chin way up, then you definitely want to use that blanket or cushion underneath the head. Again, we want to think neutral spine here. So let's start with the knees bent, feet to the mat. Arms down by your side. So take a moment, feel the shoulders heavy on the mat. Feel the head resting. Gaze gently up towards the sky or the ceiling, wherever you are. Now float the arms up towards the ceiling. Take hold of opposite elbows, so you're making the shape of a box right over top of your chest. And keep a gentle gaze, again looking up. As you exhale, gently let both elbows release over to your right side. So you're getting a little stretch in the back of that left shoulder, maybe up the side of the neck. And then inhale, come back up to center. And then exhale, let your elbows release to the left. And again, just keep your gaze neutral. So the head is not moving, just the arms. Inhale, again, back to center. Do that a couple more times. Exhale, the elbows over to the left. Inhale, the elbows slowly come back up to center. Exhale, the elbows to the right. And inhale, back to center. This time, a little movement for the head. As you exhale, let the elbows go to the right. Go ahead and let your head roll to the right. So that might change the range of motion that you have in the shoulders and the elbows. And then inhale, come back up to center. And exhale, let your head roll to the left as your elbows go to the left. And back to center. And again, do that a couple more times. Exhaling. Elbows and the head to the right. Inhale, back to center. Elbows and head to your left. Back to center. One more time each side. Exhaling. And inhale. And again, just notice sensation that you're feeling. And coming back again to center. So this time, before we do the last little sequence, go ahead, switch the cross of your elbows. So the way that you were holding, have that opposite forearm on top. So this time, elbows are going to go to the right. Let your head gently roll to the left. If your left shoulder gets in the way, just drop that left shoulder down. And then inhale, back up to center. And then exhale, elbows to your left. Let your head roll to the right. And back to center. Again, do that a couple more times. And again, just notice sensation, notice what you feel. And then let yourself come back again to neutral. Pause there for a moment. And then think about which of those variations felt the best for your head and neck and upper back. And we'll repeat that one a few more times. So again, whatever variation, maybe it was keeping your gaze neutral and just letting the arms move. Maybe it was the head rolling and moving with the arms. Maybe it was the opposite. Or maybe it was a combination. Maybe just do a few of each of them. But just take a few more breaths to explore the movement that most helped you. Just keep breathing. And then do one more each direction, whichever variation you're doing. And once you've done that, just come back to center. Let the arms come down by your side with the palms facing up. Close the eyes for a moment. Walk your feet to the edges of the mat. Just let the knees and the inner thighs drop together so the legs support each other. Take a few breaths here and just notice how you feel, especially, again, through the neck. Think of where the neck attaches to the base of the skull, the length of the neck, and then where it attaches to the tops of the shoulders. Awareness to the shoulders, tops of the shoulders, the shoulder blades, and how the shoulder blades are in contact with the earth, and the collarbones, the front of the chest, the front of the shoulders. Again, just awareness to sensation, how your body feels, and notice your breathing. Steady, even breath moving in and out of the nose. And as you're ready, gently let the eyes open. Walk the feet back in so the heels are underneath the knees. And then gently roll over onto your side. Use your arms to gently press yourself up to a seated position. You could come back to sit on your blanket if you'd like. But just find again that nice length in the spine, and go ahead once again, just bring the fingers right to the fronts of the ears, that little piece of cartilage there, and just do again that little tip up and down of the head. Again, just finding that balance again right over top of the spine. And then once you feel again that you have that balance, again, just let the arms come down by your side. A few more breaths with the eyes closed and your focus inward. And then as you're ready, gently let the eyes open. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that that little sequence helps you if you carry some tension in your neck and shoulders and upper back. Most people do. And also too, I really love this little image, was from actually Sally Swift. Centered riding was one of her ways of thinking of that balance on top of the spine. And we do find, I know us as riders, those of you who are equestrians, we find ourselves, kind of looking down at our horse's head, and we get this head falling forward. So think of that, and think of this movement as when you get this little movement. If you need to look down, if you want to look down at the head of the horse, just think of the chin tucking slightly and use your eyeballs more to look down rather than let the head fall forward. Because when we fall on the forehand, so do our horses. So anyway, I hope this helps you. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, check out Grey Horse Yoga in the description box below. I have an online class every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's always recorded if you can attend live. And I hope to see you sometime soon in the saddle or on the mat. Thanks. Bye-bye.